Hello and welcome to this episode of the Worship Band-Builder Podcast, where we are working with you to lay the foundation for skillful worship. I'm Eric Roberts, and this is my co-host, Emily Roberts.
Hi, everybody.
And today, if you're watching on YouTube, we have some pretty pedals on the table. We're going to be talking today about plug your bass in this way for killer tone.
Ooh, killer tone.
Killer tone. Can I say that at church? Can I be like, that's killer tone, dude?
I was just going to add the dude. It belongs with killer,
Yeah,
I think.
get your bass sounding killer, dude. Musicians are kind of weird, you know.
Takes one to know one, I guess.
Yeah, but if you're a bass player, I know you're out there thinking, I have frumpy bass tone. I have no low-end boost.
Oh, I'm sure they're all thinking that.
There's no presence in my tone. My tone sounds thin. I don't know. Do you lay it in bed at night and think, my bass tone sounds thin? Well, if you don't, I don't know, I'm being silly. But when bass players, they like to be like, you know, real big. Like they like it when we turn up the subs, you know.
Sure.
I do too. When I'm playing the bass at this big church in Ohio I play with, sometimes they would randomly ask me to play the bass, and I'd be like, okay. Their subs are so big, like you play the bass, you just feel the bass. It's just rumbling the whole room. It's a big room. And our church is kind of rumbling now too, isn't it?
Yes, it is these days.
These days we've been rumbling the subs.
So do bass players kind of feel like superheroes?
They do, because...
And then they shake the whole room like that?
Yeah, I mean, you're little fingers like, doo, and then everything's like, boo. Everybody's chest is just like caving in, you know. That's how you guys want to feel, right? I
guess that volume level may be for another podcast.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do a volume level podcast soon. But right now we're talking about how to plug your bass in, because if you've got a bass guitar and you just take it up to your church and they give you a direct box and you plug straight in, that does happen. It happens less than guitar players, but on our last episode we talked about acoustic guitars. The bass player will do that, but it just sounds thin. It doesn't have enough power. Now I think if you have active electronics in your bass, that might be better in that scenario, but still, why would you do that when you can get, for very inexpensive, one of these active direct box sort of things, and we're going to talk about those. So here's one for my guitar. I just put one at our church for bass, and it was the $40 Kaleen bass direct box. Okay, so basically what it does is you plug into it, it has like drive, volume, bass, treble. It's like a little preamp, and it's like having a little amp, but you don't have an amp, but you have like the little preamp section. And the other popular ones are on this sheet at worshipbandbuilder.com/gear. I have all of this here. But also in the description of this video, you'll see that I've put some Amazon links to the MXR 80 bass direct box, which is like $80 or $100. The SansAmp Tech 21 bass driver, which is like $200. Look, I bought the cheap one, guys. I think they'll probably notice I'm a cheap, okay? I'm gonna buy the cheap pedal. And at some point I felt guilty, like when I got into the worship guitar pedal thing, because if you watch my pedal board videos, they're affordable pedals. They're not like $700 pedals or $400 pedals. And I think some guys have those like real expensive pedals, but I will go right over to Behringer and buy the like $40 knockoff. And I'll tell you guys this, and we'll talk about this in the next episode too, that Behringer, I didn't know this until a couple of weeks ago. I was watching YouTube. They're making these pedals. They're knocking off all the pedals, right?
Okay.
They're basically making the exact pedal for like a third of the price. And their factory's so big, and they own so much power that they can like make really pretty good quality stuff. Because some people think Behringer's cheap or Behringer's junky, and I've heard that my whole life. And I've always thought, yeah, I guess Behringer must just be junky. But then I realized after watching this video, it's because they have just a massive production facility, and they're just awesome. So now I'm even more excited to buy these Behringer pedals when you can save like 75% off the standard pedal. So don't feel bad. We put one of these $40, Kaleen bass directs on our stage, and they're cheaper than Behringer. They're like the cheapest of the cheap Amazon pedals. But I've had several of them, and they work fine, right?
Well, if you say so. I guess the bottom line to me is, are you getting the quality that you want?
I am. That's what I'm saying. If you
So
plug
there
it
you
in,
go.
yeah, you plug your bass in and it sounds awesome. What do you care if it was 40 or 400? So anyway, there's my pedal snob.
Your pocketbook will
speech.
thank you.
Your pocketbook will thank you. Your wife will think. She won't be all mad like, where'd all that money go?
Because that's how we all talk.
Yeah, if you
when
get
we're afraid that the money has gone somewhere it shouldn't.
if you get a bunch of really expensive pedals, then you're gonna have to be explaining to your wife what happened. Okay.
Okay, I want to ask you something else. So we're talking about improving our tone with our equipment here.
Yeah.
When you are doing this on stage, how does this affect your sound person?
It makes them happier.
It
You know?
does?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's when I started thinking about this. I was running some live sound for our guys during COVID, and I was like, man, why does the bass sound so dead? So I was like, oh, that's why. We're just, so I just fixed, I was here, use this, or use the Line 6 X3 Live. We had an extra one of those, or I had one, and we used that for a while. It's a guitar effects processor, but / bass. So you can also grab an old guitar effects processor off eBay for $100. That was like a $600 pedal when it was first new. It was really high end, and now we just use it for the bass or use it for some extra guitar that we have, because you can buy them on eBay for like $100 now. So you can go back like 8 years, 10 years, find out what was really hot like 10 years ago, and go on eBay and just buy them up, because they're still good. The X3 Live is still a phenomenally good pedal. Everybody's on to the newest thing, but if you're trying to look for a bass direct box kind of thing, having an X3 pedal, it's awesome. I mean, it would have been overkill back then, because who's going to pay all that money just to run the bass into it? So the SansAmp, the MXR, go back 10 years, buy some older gear on eBay, and the sound guy's going to notice, because he's going to turn it on. It's going to sound good. Everybody's going to notice. The bass sounds really, really good in our mix right now. We've been going through this little bass direct box. What it does is, you can simply put into a tuner. So I'll give you the simple setup. That's the part of this thing. So a simple setup is plug into a tuner on the floor, a floor tuner, and then plug that into your bass direct box thing, either your SansAmp or your MXR, Beatty, it's a direct box for bass. Dial in your tone, and then out of that, you can go XLR to the board. You don't even need a direct box, because they work as direct boxes.
Okay, multi-purpose.
Yeah, they're very affordable. They're easy to use. They're flexible. And really, like my notes here say, any multi-effects processor will do better than just going direct in. How to plug it all up. I told you that. Bass into the pedal box. Maybe go to a tuner first, and then go right in. Why you want to go to the tuner first is because always you can tune. Who wants to be out of tune? Bass players. Having a floor tuner, which the floor tuners I've been using are like 150. I always thought like, oh, I better get an expensive one. But now that I've kind of realized this Behringer thing, they have like a $30 or $40 pedal. It's a Behringer T tuner pedal, and I would just use that. Okay, just stay on the low down on the budget. And that way you can get gear for everybody. So if you wanted to put 4 tuner pedals on your stage and you were trying to buy the Polytunes, they're like 150 each. That's a lot of money. But if you buy Behringers, then you're saving money.
All right, and who doesn't like to save money?
Yeah. So just take your bass guitar seriously. One thing I did tell the bass guy a couple months ago is he was playing real soft, and then he was playing real loud, and then he was playing real soft, playing real loud. And I said, like, dude, you got to play like even the whole time, because we're like back there trying to mix, and it's like you're loud, you're soft, you're loud, you're soft. So it's also about playing. Put the right thing on the floor, and then play with a steady beat. One of our other bass players, when we got our subs working real good, he was like, hey, I'm really loud, so I'm going to play softer. I'm like, no, just play. Even if you feel like it's too loud, you got to be able to trust that your sound guy is going to mix it. So you're not going to be up there trying to play real soft, because then he's going to turn you up. So just play solid, play steady. And even if it's like a big build, just stay steady. You know what I mean? A bass player should just stay about the same.
Really? That's interesting, because you'd think your sense of musicality would say play with dynamics.
Yeah, you're going to play with a little bit of dynamics, but if you're thinking about mixing, and you've mixed, if you have the
Yes.
bass player, if it's a build and you have him set where you want, and then he starts really banging on the bass, that's just going to cause bad tone, slappiness. It's basses will click, like they'll just make clicking noises when they start hitting them too loud, and make fret noise. There's only so much you can give a bass before you're getting fret noise and buzzing and clicking, and the tone breaks up. So if you find that nice solid bass tone, if you want to do a build, do a slide, do it up here, do it maybe like go to eighth notes, do, instead of just trying to hit it harder. Okay. So that's bass playing, but that's better bass tone. If you can get your bass tone really good going into the mixer, off the floor into the mixer, and then you can just stay solid, your mixer guy is probably going to be more confident, push you up, and he's going to put you where you need to be. And if you stay in that place without messing with your volumes and stuff, your tone's going to be good all around, right?
Sure. All
right, that's bass. Next week, we're going to be talking about electric guitar, and hopefully I don't go on forever with the electric guitar, but make sure you go to Worship the King or worshipbandbuilder.com/gear. Okay, worshipbandbuilder/gear.com/gear. All of my links are in here. Everything I'm using, very specific stuff, very specific brands that that I've used, and notes on them. Also, now you can partner with Worship the King with our ministry. At least half of our resources are absolutely free, but it does cost money. All of this gear, all of this production, all of our team members, we are spending money and creating content, but we're doing that because you guys help us. So partner with us at worshiptheking.com/partner. You can become a monthly partner. You can join the subscription service that we have, get a little extra lessons in there. And you can also just buy a songbook from Amazon and give it a 5-star rating. Those things really help us. It helps our bottom line when you do those simple things. Leave a review on Amazon, share this video with your friends, and if you just want to get right down to it and support this ministry financially, you can do that at worshiptheking.com/partner. And we thank you for it.